Well, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back. Cumberland Outdoorsman out here at my shooting range with yet another one of my 22 Rimfire series videos. In today's video, I'm going to be answering a question that was asked of me by one of my viewers. Does the 22 Rimfire lose performance or power going from semi-automatic mode to bolt action mode? Well, we're going to find out today because I've got the perfect test rifle right here. This is a Stevens Savage model 87A, and it's a dual action rifle just like this J.C. Higgins, same action, same rifle practically, just a different stock, that I featured a couple of weeks ago in a previous video. But as you can see, it's a semi-automatic. Each time you squeeze the trigger, the bolt is moved rearward and a new shell is fed into the chamber. Or it's also a bolt action. You can lock the bolt shut. Now when you squeeze the trigger, the bolt stays locked, just like in a bolt action. So, does the 22 Rimfire actually lose power by operating and cycling the action? And does it lose accuracy as well? Well, we're going to find out in today's video. What I've got here on the table are a few different types of ammunition. I've got some CCI standard velocity. I've got some of this CCI Blazer, and I've also got some SK basic flat nose. So we're going to test the accuracy as well. I'm going to get a chronograph and get it set up, and we're going to do some velocity readings and see if there's any difference at all in the 22 Rimfire fired out of a rifle, whether it's in semi-automatic or bolt action mode. So come along, let's do some testing and find out. Okay, first of all, I'm going to load up 5 rounds. The gun's empty right now, but we'll go ahead and load up 5 rounds. And we'll shoot 5 rounds in the semi-automatic mode. See if we can detect any difference at all in terms of velocity. This rifle out of the way here. .1065. .1081. .1067. .1094. The last round. .1057. That's in semi-automatic mode. Now, I'm going to load up 5 more here. And we'll shoot them with the bolt locked shut. .1061. .1043. .1055. .1052. final round. 1041. If anything, it was just more consistent. In terms of power, there was no power increase at all with the bolt being locked shut over the semi-automatic mode. All right, let's load up some of these CCI Blazers. These are higher velocity. Tell you what, I'm going to go ahead and load up 10 of them here. And we'll talk about this little rifle while I'm loading them up. This is a Stevens Model 87A, Savage Arms Corporation, Chicopee Falls, Massachusetts, USA. And I want to say that this gun was made around 1960 or so. Somebody installed sling swivels, or the studs anyway, and it did come with a nice little leather sling when I bought it. I bought it used, of course. These guns are no longer being manufactured, but as you can see, if you're on the lookout for nice old 22s, they're still available because I'm finding them pretty regularly, folks. Okay, action's empty right now, and we're going to go ahead and load the first round and shoot it in semi-automatic mode. Here we go. 1226. 1206. 1197. 1238. 1228. Now we're going to lock the bolt shut. 1216. 1189. 1240. 1196. 1228. Well, just like before, not much difference at all. Nothing too dramatic as far as velocity change from one action to the other. I would say that perhaps with the bolt shut, the velocities were a little bit more consistent, but not much, folks. So let's go check the accuracy. I've got a scope mounted on the other rifle here, and we'll compare accuracy between the semi-automatic mode and bolt action mode. Okay guys, I got 10 rounds loaded up in the magazine here on my J.C. Higgins scoped rifle, and we're going to be firing 2 5-shot groups at those targets down there at 38 yards. First 5-shot group is going to be in bolt action mode and the target on the left. Here we go. Okay, now we're going to shoot 5 rounds into the target on the right in semi-automatic mode. All right, let me go grab that target and we'll discuss the final results. Well folks, now it's time to compare these targets and the numbers and show you the final results. It's rather interesting. Here's the 10 shots that I just fired using CCI standard velocity. This is in the lock position. You can see all 5 rounds hitting a little bit low there on the target. One was way off to the left there. I don't know what happened there on that round. I think that was probably just a bad round. But I was holding right there in the middle at 38 yards. And then in the semi-automatic mode, I got that 5-shot group. You know, all of them landed a little bit high and to the left. So they group tighter in the semi-automatic mode. A little bit more consistent performance. And then for the next testing, I used the SK flat nose. This is premium ammunition, same distance, and as you can see, this is in semi-automatic mode and this is with the bolt lock shut. Once again, they hit much more consistently in these 2 5-shot groups than in these. This is with the bolt lock shut. So for some reason that rifle shoots better in semi-automatic mode than it does with the bolt lock shut. I would have thought it would have been the other way around, you know, but you just never know. I mean, that's not a bad group by any means, but still the extreme spread there you can see is quite a bit wider than these tiny groups here. Is it good enough to hunt with? Yes, especially in semi-automatic mode. Now then, to crunch the numbers in regards to velocity, using standard velocity ammunition, the CCI, in semi-automatic mode, I got an average velocity of 1,072.8 feet per second with an extreme spread of 37 feet per second between the fastest and the slowest. And then in the lock position, I got 1,050.4 feet per second with an extreme spread of 20 feet per second. So a little bit more consistent in the lock position in terms of velocity and extreme spread. With the high velocity ammo, using this Blazer, CCI Blazer, in semi-automatic mode, I got an average velocity of 1,219 feet per second with an extreme spread of 41 feet per second between the fastest and the slowest round. And then in the lock position, I got an average velocity of 1,213.8 feet per second with an extreme spread of 51 feet per second between the fastest and the slowest. So a little bit more consistent in the semi-automatic mode using that ammunition. So the question stands, does the 22 Rimfire lose performance in semi-automatic mode compared to the bolt action locked mode? Does it actually lose power by cycling the bolt rearwards, extracting the empty cartridge and loading a new one? Not according to my figures, folks. In fact, there's more power in the semi-automatic mode than in the locked bolt mode. With the standard velocity ammo, I got 1,072.8 in the semi-automatic mode and 1,050.4 with the bolt lock shut. And in the high velocity ammo, I got 1,219 in the semi-automatic mode, and in the bolt lock shut position I got 1,213.8, about 1,214, so about 5 feet per second difference, which really doesn't amount to a hill of beans, but it shows you that the power loss is not really even there. What I think's going on is, in order to operate that bolt rearwards, that's just residual power left over from what that cartridge generated, and the bullet's already gone out the barrel by the time that bolt's traveling rearwards, you know. So that initial force that the bullet gets from the explosion of that cartridge has already driven that bullet out, and it's on its way to the target by the time that bolt is traveling rearwards and extracting the old case. I mean, that's just the way it is, and that's quite apparent through this test because you're seeing it just as it happened. Anyway, I just thought it was interesting. Now, that's not to say that bolt action rifles don't shoot well or shoot consistently, because I've got some bolt action rifles, as you all well know, that will group like that at 50 yards. You know, it'll put all of them into the size of a shirt button. But in these particular rifles with the bolt lock shut, it doesn't shoot as consistently as it does in the semi-automatic mode. Both rifles. So, you know, it's something about that action that just prefers the semi-automatic mode. And that's just for your information. I thought it would be fun to do this test and share it with you. So with that being said, remember, if you like to go outdoors and go hunting, fishing, camping, shooting, hiking, whatever your outdoor pursuit might happen to be, I hope you enjoy it as much as I do. But also remember, hit that like button, smash the bell icon, and subscribe. That way you'll know when more videos like this one will be coming your way. So until next time, you all take care of yourselves, get out there and enjoy the great outdoors, and God bless you. I'll see you next time.